So, I want to talk about sleep, more importantly, sleep hygiene, and how overrated and stupid I think it is because there are so many more fun things you can do other than sleep. And no, stop with that dirty mind. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about that, but I'm talking about other things, namely reading. Okay, testing, testing. How do I look? Right. Camera, mic. Is this on? Okay, yeah, this is hello, testing. Okay, that's good. Light window. All right, good. It is hot in here. It is so hot. It is literally Christmas Eve, and it is about 75 degrees in this room. And I don't have on the fan because it'll just really, really be a problem with the sound. But I am sweating. Anyway, I don't really have anything better to do right now except to make a video. Oh, no, my hair is not really working like that. So I want to talk about sleep, more importantly, sleep hygiene, and how overrated and stupid I think it is because there are so many more fun things you can do other than sleep. And no, stop with that dirty mind. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about that, but I'm talking about other things, namely reading, and more recently, YouTube. I have discovered YouTube and it is keeping me up all night, but let's start at the beginning. And before we get into that, welcome to my channel, Honest Aphrodite. Thanks for watching, and I'll just be talking about my experiences and all my many, many opinions based on many, many experiences. So enjoy. Basically, we all know and agree that good sleep hygiene is the key to, health, happiness, good life, beauty. And beauty is important enough to me, on the outside and I guess on the inside, that sleep should be like an essential thing for me, but it's just not. And I'm not talking actually. Let me make this clear. I'm not talking about sleeping. Oh, I can sleep. Like once I fall asleep, it's hard to wake me up. I will be like a teenage boy, the amount I can sleep. Unless someone wakes me up, I'll easily sleep till like 11 a.m. after having gone to bed at like 10 p.m. So yeah, that's me. But I don't remember the last time I actually went to bed at 10 p.m., so it doesn't really count. But it has been a struggle for me for ages. For as long as I can remember, even as a kid. And it really started back, let's start from the beginning. Back when I was a kid and my parents would read to me. So I remember the first book that they read to me that was a non-picture book. I threw a fit. I was like, why would anyone write a book that didn't have pictures? Like, how dare they? Are they stupid? I really thought I knew what I was talking about. I clearly didn't. But the first book that was read to me with no pictures was Treasure Island. And we all know, how great that is. Even if you've never read the book or like seen the movie, I don't actually know if there's a more recent movie other than Pirates of the Caribbean, which is kind of the same thing. So my dad read that to me, and even after like he'd finished reading, I mean, I was like 4 or 5 at the time, so I couldn't read yet. Even when he'd finished reading and, finish a chapter, I would just stay awake, like fantasizing about it. I probably had a crush on one of the pirates. Who knows? I probably did. So basically, that kept me up. And then as soon as I could start reading, I would read picture books, because I couldn't read like long chapter books at that point. God, way too many words. But I would read picture books. And so I remember like staying awake at night and being, actually, you know what? I would read picture books. And I would, this is a perfect example. I have this blanket, and I'd have this over me like this. Yes. I'm sure everyone has done this, right? So we have this blanket, and you'll like get out your flashlight or a headlight, which is, if you were really cool, you'd have a headlight, and you'd be like reading late into the night, and no one could see you because you were like under your blanket reading. So I would be up late, going through my picture books. Oh my God, it's really hot. I'm going to take this off actually. Whew. And it was like the original social media to me, because you'd be just turning those pages, looking at picture after picture. Then I got into magazines, the beauty of those really thick, glossy magazines. I was into magazines even before I could read. And then I started to read more and more, and I would be, staying up late into the night reading my, adventure books and stuff like that. So that was huge. And then I realized that it was a bit much just keeping my eyes open that late. They would be strained. And I found audiobooks. Okay, so for those of you, my little beautiful Gen Zs, audiobooks used to be on tape, on cassette tape. I will put a picture up. I don't know which side it's going to come on, but a cassette tape, one of those things, super analog, plastic with the little holes in the center, and the actual physical tape would go around, and it would there would be one side and it would click off at the end, and you'd have to turn it over to the next side. Then you'd rewind it or fast forward. It was, oh my God, it was so wonderful. But that click, I remember I would be falling asleep very nicely whenever the audiobook would be playing. It would take me about 15-20 minutes. But then when it would come to the end of one of the sides of the tape, it would just click off, this loud, insane click. So it would wake me up. So again, then I'd have to turn it on again to help myself go to sleep. And then I would, it would click again. So it was just this constant cycle of, not being able to sleep. And it was like I was addicted to those audiobooks, but of course, because they were so good, they were so freaking good. And then, more recently, I think audiobooks have stayed with me forever, because I still listen to those. I got out of the habit, obviously, when I, would be with boyfriends, or of course my husband, because, I'm not going to have him knowing that I'm listening to audiobooks. That's ridiculous. He's there next to me and I'm putting in my headphones, please. So yeah, but my hygiene improved as soon as I started sleeping with a partner, because when you're with a partner, you want to think about them. You want to make sure that, you're not keeping them up with your insane habits. And there was a time where I was falling asleep with nothing, going to sleep with the lights out, but even still, I would just lie awake for hours. It would be so hard for me to actually fall asleep. And then I don't actually know when this started, but we really got into reading books before going to sleep. And so I would, rather than, have a little bed lamp, because you wanted to have the nice darkness and just read in the dark until you fell asleep, we would use our e-readers, or I use my phone now, because I have Kindle on my phone, but I used to have a Kindle. That was a lot better. And now, and because I use my phone, something else has happened, which I'll tell you about in a second. But basically, we would read on our Kindle, and that happened for about a year. It was so great. It was so sweet. We would be next to each other in bed, oh, what are you reading? Oh, great. What are you reading? Okay, I love you. Good night. And then we'd read, and then we'd just drift off into dreamland. It was so nice. I got through a lot of good reading, and it was such a good feeling, because it was both productive but calming and cleansing at the same time. And it was just the perfect way to end the day. And you felt wow, I'm spending these 15-20 minutes before going to bed, reading something great. And then I found Stephen frickin' King. I got addicted to him, and I used to really judge him. Sorry, here's my wine. I used to judge him, not that he'd care, obviously, or anyone would care. Who was I to judge? But I don't know, I just saw him as kind of a dime a dozen writer, just horror flicks, because all I'd ever seen were those, the movie posters that just looked ridiculous. But I started reading his book, It. and it's got to be about like 1,000 pages. I mean, you don't know how many pages are in the book when it's on an e-reader because it's a different, numbering system, obviously. But I mean, it's got to be up there because it took me ages to finish that book, but I was addicted to it. So I started just like delaying my sleep because I was too into the book. So I just stay up and up and up and like read as much as I can, as much as I could. And then I would start listening to the audiobook because I couldn't wait to like read the next chapter or read the next part or wait until the evening to read because I was too busy in the day to read. So yeah, so I got into the audiobooks because I could at least do that while like doing something else. Oh my God. And it was a slippery slope. And then before I knew it, I was powering through all of his books, both like reading and listening to them and just like consuming them right and left. So there was that. And then I ended up getting into audiobooks again. Terrible, terrible. So I would be up late into the night. My husband would be fast asleep next to me in the dark, none the wiser. At least I don't think he knew that I was like just listening to books all night. And it totally disturbed my sleep. And then I found YouTube. And that has been like the beginning of the end for me. I mean, obviously, I hope the end is not near. I'm aware that I need to change my habits. I absolutely am. But like, there's just too much good stuff out there. I mean, honestly, like even the bad stuff on YouTube is genius. It's so good. It's so addictive. It's so fun. Like everyone on there is just great. You can learn stuff. You can be entertained. Like, I mean, obviously you know that, like people know that. That's why it exists. But it's like I just discovered it because I never really engaged with it before, but it's a genius platform. I'm just saying it's genius. So I'm addicted to it. And like there are certain accounts that I love. I'll link them down below. And there's this one guy, Charles Brockman III. I think he got big on TikTok, but I started watching him on YouTube because I'm obviously behind the times. And I would watch his shorts and be laughing so hard in my sleep that I would be shaking the bed with laughter. And on a couple occasions, like my husband would wake up and think that I was having a bad dream, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know what it is. Quickly turning off my phone. Because of course I don't want him to know that I'm up, watching videos when I should be asleep. Because, I'm underslept. I'm absolutely and completely underslept. Like, I have to wake up for work in the morning. I can't just sleep however long I want. So yeah, I know it's bad for me. I know it's terrible. I need to work on it. But on the other hand, like all of this talk about good sleep hygiene it just gets so annoying because all of the stuff you have to do. It's like, yes, I could do it. I could do it. Yes, I'm drinking wine. I could not drink wine. It's true. I could say, no, not having wine in the evening. It's going to mess with my sleep. Okay, I need to stop drinking water at a certain hour. I certainly need to stop drinking caffeine or consuming caffeine in any way at a certain hour. Stop eating because, that'll, mess up your stomach and then obviously mess with your sleep. Make the room dark enough, make the room cool enough, have a comfortable bed, have a routine. And I mean, I kind of have a routine, but I don't know. I just get so excited at night. I just don't want to go to bed. I just don't want to. I want to do other things. I have this insane fear of missing out. And you know what? Like all this sleep hygiene, like, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll learn. Maybe one day I'll change. I'm just hoping that something will happen because I do not have the willpower on my own to change it. And you know what? I just reaching for my wine one more time. Like, you know what? I'm an adult. I'm an adult with a job. And if I want to have a glass of wine in the evening, like, why the hell not? I mean, please. Why else did I like go to school and like go to college and stuff like that? Well, I mean, to me, this is like my payback. So anyway, but let me just leave you with this. There's a name for this problem that I have. It's not just a me thing, and it is such a thing that it is named, and it is called revenge bedtime procrastination. And this is on the Sleep Foundation website. So that is not, it's not nothing. It's not like just some janky little website. It is the sleepfoundation.org. And they talk about exactly what it is. It is hilarious. I'll link it down below. And you are basically procrastinating going to sleep almost as a way of revenge against your daily life, where you feel like you don't have the opportunity to do what you want to do. So you are forced, not you're forced, but you forced yourself to stay up as a way of almost like rebellion against the hardships of the day and all the responsibilities of the day. So there you are. Once again, just revenge bedtime procrastination. It's what I have. I think it's what I've always had. And I hopefully it won't stay with me forever. But for now, it's here to stay. And you know what? I'm here for it. So yeah, talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Ciao.